Do you know what the most dangerous sin in the Torah actually is? It is not what you think. It is not murder. It is not theft. It is not even idolatry. The one sin that blocks all your money, every single cent that was destined for you, is a sin so common that you are probably committing it right now without even realizing it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I have spent over 30 years studying the Torah, the Talmud, the Kabbalah, and the hidden financial teachings that the ancient rabbis passed down only to their closest students. My family has been in rabbinical study for 5 generations. My grandfather was one of the wealthiest men in our community, and he built everything from nothing, from absolute zero, in a country that did not even want him there. And when I was young, maybe 14 or 15 years old, he sat me down and he told me something that changed the entire direction of my life. He said there is one sin that acts like a wall between you and everything God wants to give you. He said most people will live their entire lives committing this sin every single day, and they will never understand why money runs from them, why opportunities vanish, why they work harder than everyone else and still end up with nothing. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this sin is. You will understand why it has been destroying your finances, and I am going to give you the exact method to remove it from your life permanently. But I need to warn you. The secret I will share toward the end of this video is so powerful that the ancient rabbis debated whether it should ever be taught publicly. They kept it within closed circles for centuries. I am choosing to share it because I believe the world needs it right now more than ever. Let me take you back to when I first understood this. I was 23 years old. I had finished my rabbinical studies. I was brilliant on paper, and I was completely broke. I could quote the Talmud from memory. I could debate the finest points of Jewish law, but I could not pay my rent. I remember sitting in my grandfather's study one evening after Sukkot. The house still smelled like the etrog, that beautiful citrus scent that fills the air during the festival. And I finally had the courage to ask him. I said, I do not understand. I have studied everything. I follow the commandments. I pray 3 times a day. Why is money running from me? He looked at me for a long time without saying anything. Then he opened the Talmud to tractate Shabbat and pointed to a passage. He said, read this and do not stop reading until you understand what it really means. That night changed everything. Within 6 months of understanding and applying what I learned, my financial situation transformed completely. I went from borrowing money for groceries to generating more income in a single month than I had made in the entire previous year. I need to stop here for a moment. What I'm about to share changed my life, and it's already changing thousands of others. I've put everything into the Jewish Money Code, 3 complete books with all the rituals, prayers, and ancient principles that wealthy Jewish families have protected for generations. This isn't just a video. This is the beginning. If you want the complete system, the link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. That is when I knew this was not just philosophy. This was not just nice spiritual talk. This was real. This was a spiritual law as reliable as gravity. The Talmud teaches in Bava Batra that wealth and poverty are not random. They are not accidents. They are the direct result of alignment or misalignment with specific spiritual laws that the Creator embedded into the fabric of reality itself. The ancient rabbis did not guess at these laws. They discovered them, tested them across generations, documented them, and passed them down with extreme precision. I am simply the messenger, and today I am going to deliver that message directly to you. Before I continue, I want you to write in the comments right now the words I am ready to receive. Write it exactly like that. I am ready to receive. This is not just a comment. In Kabbalistic tradition, declaring your readiness opens a spiritual channel. The moment you type those words, you are telling the universe that you are no longer blocking what is meant for you. Now let me tell you what is actually happening in your life right now, because I know exactly what you are going through. You wake up every morning with this weight on your chest. You check your bank account and the number never seems to move in the right direction. You work long hours. You sacrifice time with your family. You do everything the world tells you to do. And still, at the end of the month, there is more month left than money. You watch other people, people who seem less talented than you, less hard-working than you, and somehow they are thriving. They are buying homes, starting businesses, traveling the world, and you are stuck. I know this because I have sat across from thousands of people, just like you, over 30 years of teaching, and every single one of them had the same invisible problem. They were committing the one sin that blocks all money without even knowing it. Let me tell you why the conventional methods fail. First, people try to work harder. They take second jobs, they hustle around the clock, they grind until their bodies break down. But the Talmud teaches in Tractate Kiddushin that a person's income is determined from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. The amount is set spiritually. Working harder does not change the decree. It only changes how exhausted you are when you receive what was already coming. Second, people try to save their way to wealth. They cut every expense, they live in deprivation, they squeeze every penny until it screams. But saving from a place of fear is not wisdom, it is anxiety. And anxiety is a spiritual signal that repels abundance. The Talmud is very clear about this. Third, people chase get-rich-quick schemes. Crypto, day trading, gambling, lottery tickets. They want the shortcut. But there is no shortcut to lasting wealth. Every Jewish family that has built generational prosperity did it through principles, not tricks. I have to pause here because thousands of you have already downloaded the Jewish Money Code collection, and the messages I'm receiving are incredible. People paying off debt, attracting unexpected money, finally breaking the cycle of poverty. These 3 books contain everything: the rituals, the prayers, the mindset shifts, the daily practices, the complete system. The link is waiting for you in the description. Every day you wait is another day stuck in the same patterns. Now, let me share the most powerful secret. Now here is the lie you have been told your entire life. The world tells you that money is purely physical, that it is just numbers in an account, paper in a wallet, digits on a screen. That is the biggest lie in modern civilization. The Jewish people understood 3,000 years ago that money is spiritual energy first and physical matter second. Every coin that enters your life or leaves your life is governed by spiritual law, and the sin I am about to reveal to you is the one that cuts off that spiritual flow completely. The ancient rabbis codified this understanding into specific, actionable practices. They did not just theorize about it. They created systems, rituals, prayers, and behavioral codes designed to keep the channels of abundance permanently open. Everything I am teaching you in this video is only the beginning. If you are serious about applying these ancient Jewish wealth principles to your life, I wrote a book called The Ancient Wealth Code. It contains the complete system, all 10 principles that Jewish families have used for 3,000 years to build, protect, and pass down wealth from generation to generation. This is not theory. This is the exact playbook. It is available right now in the description below and pinned in the first comment. Go get your copy today, because knowledge without action is worthless. Now let me tell you about the transformations I have witnessed when people remove this sin from their lives. I have seen single mothers go from welfare to owning rental properties within 18 months. I have seen men in their 60s who thought their financial life was over suddenly receive opportunities they never imagined possible. I have seen young entrepreneurs whose businesses were dying experience complete turnarounds within weeks. Every single one of them followed the exact method I am about to teach you. The sin is envy. In Hebrew, we call it kina. And I know what you are thinking right now. You are thinking envy? That is it? Rabbi, I came here for something deeper than that. And that reaction, that dismissal, is exactly why this sin is so devastating. It hides in plain sight. It disguises itself as motivation, as ambition, as healthy competition. But the Torah is absolutely explicit about this. In Pirkei Avot, the Ethics of the Fathers, chapter 4, it says envy, lust, and the pursuit of honor remove a person from the world, not diminish, not reduce, remove. The Hebrew word is motzi'in, which means to completely extract someone from the flow of life itself. And in the context of wealth, envy does something very specific at the spiritual level. When you look at another person's success, and you feel that burning in your chest, that tightness in your stomach, that voice that whispers, "Why them and not me?" you are sending a signal to the Creator. You are saying, what you have given me is not enough. You are saying your distribution is unfair. You are saying, I reject my portion. And the moment you reject your portion, the channels close. Not partially, completely. The Talmud in Tractate Sotah teaches that envy literally rots the bones. It does not just affect your spirit. It affects your body, your mind, your relationships, and yes, your finances. I have seen this play out thousands of times. This is not something I read in a book and decided to teach. This is something I have lived and witnessed with my own eyes across 3 decades of rabbinical work. Now let me explain why this is different from every other teaching you have heard about envy. Most people understand envy as a negative emotion. They know it is bad. But what they do not understand is the mechanism. In Kabbalistic thought, every person is born with a specific spiritual vessel. This vessel has a precise size, shape, and capacity. It is designed to receive a specific type and amount of blessing. Your vessel is unique to you. It was crafted before you were born. When you envy someone else, you are spiritually trying to claim their vessel instead of your own. But their vessel does not fit you. It was not made for you. So what happens is you abandon your own vessel, the one that was perfectly designed to receive your blessings, and you chase one that will never work for you. Meanwhile, your vessel sits empty because you walked away from it. This is why envious people always feel empty no matter how much they acquire. They could win the lottery and still feel poor. They could build an empire and still feel inadequate, because they abandoned their own vessel, their own mazel, their own divine assignment. Now let me give you the exact method to remove this sin and reopen the channels of abundance in your life. This is not casual advice. This is a serious spiritual practice that I have taught privately for decades, and I am sharing it publicly for the first time because of what is happening in the world right now. With inflation rising across every major economy, with the cost of living crushing families in the United States, in Europe, in Latin America, with global uncertainty reaching levels we have not seen since 2008, people need this wisdom now more than ever. The preparation is critical. You need to do this first thing in the morning, ideally before the sun has fully risen. The morning hours in Jewish tradition are called the hours of Chesed, the hours of divine kindness. This is when the spiritual gates are most open and most receptive to your intention. Before you begin, you need to be in a state of genuine humility, not false modesty, not performative humility. Real recognition that the Creator is the source of everything, and that your role is to be a worthy vessel, not the source itself. You will need 4 things. The first is a mirror. In Kabbalistic tradition, the mirror represents self-reflection and truth. The ancient rabbis taught that a person cannot fix what they cannot see. The mirror forces you to confront yourself honestly. It strips away the masks you wear for the world and shows you who you really are at this moment. When you look in the mirror during this practice, you are not looking at your face. You are looking at your soul. The second thing you need is a glass of water. Water in Jewish mysticism represents the flow of divine blessing. The Torah itself begins with water. The Spirit of God hovered over the waters. Water is the most receptive substance in creation. It takes the shape of whatever contains it. It absorbs energy, intention, and prayer. The water you use should be clean, room temperature, and placed in a clear glass, not plastic, not metal, clear glass, because transparency matters in spiritual work. The third thing you need is a small piece of paper and a pen. You are going to write something specific on this paper, and I will tell you exactly what in a moment. The act of writing in Jewish tradition is sacred. When a scribe writes a Torah scroll, every letter carries divine energy. When you write your intention with focus and clarity, you are engaging the same principle at a smaller scale. The fourth thing you need is a candle. Fire in Kabbalah represents the divine spark, the ore, the light of creation. The flame of a candle is one of the most powerful spiritual tools available to you. It transforms physical matter into light and heat, which is exactly what this practice does with envy. It transforms a destructive spiritual force into usable, positive energy. Now here is the exact procedure. Step 1. Stand in front of the mirror first thing in the morning. Look directly into your own eyes. Do not look away. Do not smile. Do not frown. Simply look. For 60 seconds, do nothing but look into your own eyes. This is harder than it sounds. Most people cannot do it for more than 10 seconds without feeling uncomfortable. That discomfort is the sin surfacing. Let it surface. Do not fight it. Step 2. While looking into your own eyes, speak out loud every instance of envy you can identify in your life right now. Say it plainly. I envy this person because of their house. I envy that person because of their business. I envy my brother because of his marriage. I envy my neighbor because of her car. Do not hold back. Do not judge yourself. Just name them, every single one. The Talmud teaches that naming a spiritual force reduces its power over you. This is the principle of hakarat hara, recognizing the negative. You cannot defeat an enemy you refuse to acknowledge. Step 3. Light the candle and place it beside the mirror. The flame represents the divine light that burns away impurity. As the candle burns, take the piece of paper and write these exact words in Hebrew or in English. Either works, because the intention is what carries the power. Write, I release all envy from my heart. I accept my portion with joy. I bless everyone who has what I desire. I trust the Creator's timing and distribution. Then sign your name and write today's date. Step 4. Hold the paper over the glass of water. Read the words out loud 3 times. 3 is significant in Jewish tradition. The priestly blessing is 3 verses. The patriarchs were 3. The temple had 3 sections. Repetition of 3 anchors, spiritual intention into reality. After reading 3 times, fold the paper and place it under the glass of water. Let the water sit on top of your written intention. Step 5. Now here is the most important step, and this is where most people fail. You must drink the water, all of it, in one continuous motion if possible. As you drink, visualize the water washing through your entire body, dissolving every trace of envy, every molecule of resentment, every atom of comparison. See it flowing through your veins, through your organs, through your mind, cleansing everything. The ancient rabbis taught that water blessed with intention becomes a vessel of transformation. You are literally internalizing your commitment to release envy. Now, everything I have shared with you today is powerful, but I want to be honest with you. This is just a fraction of the complete system. In the ancient wealth code, I lay out all 10 principles step by step, principle by principle. What you have learned in this video is 2 of those 10 principles. The remaining 8 go even deeper, and some of them are the most transformative teachings I have ever shared. The link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. If this video has opened your eyes, The book will change your life. Step 6.